Hello, Danvers. My name is Claire. I'm one of the volunteers here at the Danvers Community Access Television and today's host for Danvers Daily. We're welcoming today someone that we always look forward to talking with. It's Mr. Danvers himself, Dutrochet Djoko. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you again, Claire.
Now, you've had another event this past week that was very important for our community and also for the youth of our community. And the title, Move Like King, I notice it's a play on the MLK. Tell us about how that was inspired.
Great event. Thank you, Claire, for having me. Yes, we just had our 25th, mind you, MLK celebration here in town. And yes, the theme this year was MLK himself and Move Like King. And this was a way for us as a town to pause, reflect, and just express how we move like King day to day. And what is our vision for the Danvers of tomorrow. And that's where, we had the intervention of the youth. And it was a great program, great event. We started the afternoon by just some artwork. The whole atrium of the high school was utilized. The kids were having a great time and just being creative and expressing how their vision for Danvers. It was almost like a dreams escape, right? Then we had great food, thanks to the food service at the high school. We also had this year some tabling from different organizations. We had a board where people can express their vision for Danvers, and the different organizations that were at the tabling. We had our police, we had the library, we had the Accessibility Commission, and Next Gen, which is a high school group that moves like King every day in so many ways. They were a great participating force in this event. So it was, I believe, one of the biggest one we've had so far. It was great, and bringing the community together in that way was amazing.
I know you had quite a variety of speakers this year as well.
We did, and it was very palpable in the room when they were speaking. It was just regular folks who go about their day-to-day and move like King in so many ways, from being the first in doing what they do to how they give a lending hand to mentor other kids, get ways for them to get scholarships, or just the people who say stop when they see something that's not appropriate happening. It was beautiful, and it was very enlightening to see the residents just express not only how they move like King every day, but also what their vision is for the Danvers of tomorrow.
Since my generation and your generation, I've sometimes concerned that younger people just don't recognize the import of the civil rights movement here in the States and the legacy of Dr. King. So that's what's so impressive to me about this event, Move Like King, because it had so much involvement of young people.
It did indeed. And I recall a quote from a pastor that Karen, one of our committee members, shared with me, where she said, legacy is not what you do, but it's what people do because of you.
Well.
And when I saw the work and the creativity and the singing, we had a few groups, middle school, high school, and St. John's Prep, of the kids, right, in this event. It was very, very good and very encouraging and inspiring. So yeah, we might think our kids don't know, but believe me, maybe if we let the work on by those kids, we might have a better world than what we have. But it was really inspirational.
And the artwork too. It was quite impressive.
It was, and the creativity. As a matter of fact, one of the pieces that we had, and thank kudos to the high school art teachers, it was Danvers Move Like King. And the kids were able to make that in a banner. It's not quite ready yet because the paint has to dry and all that stuff. And the hope is that once that piece is ready, we hope it can live at different places into town throughout the years. Hopefully then the DCAT has the opportunity to have it here one of these days. And the idea is that when it gets to your place, you pause, reflect, and just talk about how you move like king. And what is your dream for the Danvers of tomorrow? How do we build on the past and today to shape tomorrow? And that's the idea behind that banner. It will be a great art piece. We hope it lives in town hall, police, fire, library, different schools. And, you know, because we don't want this event to be a one afternoon thing and you're done, right? The legacy in Dr. King and the dream he died for wasn't just so we can celebrate him once a year for 3 hours. It was so that we live his dream every day in everything that we do. And this piece will help us do that.
And I know, too, this year there was a Seeds of Hope award that was given.
That's right. We had an inaugural Seed of Hope award, and that went to Agnes Mesiga, who works for Centerboard. A beautiful person. I mean, I would spend the whole day here if I just wanted to talk about her. You know, very often we do our job because we got to get a paycheck to go home, right? But you can tell when someone is passionate. You know, it's not just a job, it's a duty, right? And Agnes has a way to look at diversity and in any way, right? Race, disability, social economic status. She looks at diversity, as someone said, not just as a problem to manage, right? But as a value to cherish. And her and her team did an amazing job, obviously with the help of our state representative and senator, and the town officials and many other stakeholders to really welcome the new families that we did have in town. So yes, she did get the inaugural Seed of Hope Award, and congratulations again, Agnes. It was really well deserved.
And this event seems to be growing. I really appreciate the inspiration for the banner that, you know, this is an everyday, how do we cherish one another, the gifts that we each bring to our community.
Definitely. And if you think about it, right, because when we talk about moving like king, it's not like changing the whole world. You know, we can do it starting in our own house. I mean, one of the speakers spoke of the fact that she's the first Latina to sit on our police force, right? And she hopes to not be the last. That opening that new door for the young kids that are going to see possibility is another way to move like king. So there are so many ways each of us move like king, and Dr. King said it himself, everyone can serve. Right? You don't have to be the town manager, you don't have to be the select board, you don't have to be like the leader. Anyone, wherever you have a gift of service, and we just have to really go ahead and give it.
This is an event that I'm sure the young people will carry forward, remembering, because of their real participation.
They did. I mean, and this, it was amazing. And Next Gen, the high school group that a couple of the kids spoke, speaking of legacy, I mean, these kids are not just doing things now so they can graduate high school, right? They were speaking of the actions that they're taking today so that the kids that are in middle school have a better experience in a high school than they did themselves. And that's what it's all about. How do we make it better for the next generation and get that Danvers of tomorrow to be better than what we found it, you know?
So speaking of next time and next generation, I'm wondering what activities are planned for the future and how folks can get involved.
The Human Rights and Inclusion Committee never sits still. We want to create as many opportunities as we can to still bring the community together, to celebrate and cherish our town, our history, and build the future together. Our next event is going to be on February 10. Mark your calendar if you're watching at home. February 10 from 5 to 8 at the senior center. It's open to the public. We'll have some music, we'll have some food, complimentary, and it's going to be Black History Month celebration. And this year the theme is celebrating Black excellence. So we hope to have everyone there, you know, to continue to build these community spaces where we can cherish each other, get to meet, and just have a good time.
Yeah. You know, King is representative of an era, but there were so many people, C.T. Vivian and Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and
Definitely, there's many
John
more.
Lewis, so many people.
That's true. And Dr. King, I mean, he was all about the beloved community,
Yes.
right? He knew from the beginning of his movement, the movement that he led, that it had to be a movement. It could not have been the work of one individual.
Yes.
And there were so many other people who did work so we can run today.
Yeah.
And that is part of what we're going to be celebrating. We're celebrating some recent, you know, Black leaders as well as some old ones. But it's going to be a great event, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yes, yes. So there's a lot of people to thank. I thank you for your participation in bringing alive these events in our town.
Pleasure is mine, and I could not do this on my own. Shout out to the subcommittee, the MLK subcommittee, that was led by Karen and Paul Pollack. They did an amazing job. Johan, Bill, those were members of the subcommittee. Jasmine Ramon, who is kind of like the glue that keeps it all together. And Mary Wormer at the high school. I mean, we could not put an event like this without the help and the participation and the leadership of the high school. Dan Bauer was very supportive as well. The food services at the high school, I mean, DPW, all the organizations that brought on tables at the event that did the tabling. Karen from Maple Street Church was amazing with the kids and the artwork. And just the speakers, I mean, all the speakers that really, for them it was work. It was really work to really put themselves out there, be vulnerable, and share their perspective. It's not a given. So we really appreciate that. And thanks to DCAT for filming and broadcasting the event. It's always a good thing to capture the moment and allow the people that were unable to make it to see exactly what happened. And I hope this helps them. Not that I don't want people to watch DCAT, they can still do it, but they can do it after the fact, because I hope that more people actually come to the event. So thanks to everyone, and looking forward to the next event.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. And I want to thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.